Jesus was once asked what the most important commandment is, and this is what he said. He responded to the onlookers. He said, the most important commandment is this: listen, O Israel, the Lord our God is the one and only Lord. He's the one and only. And because he's the one and only, you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. And the second commandment is just like this. It's equal to it. Love your neighbor as yourself. No other commandment is greater than these. Now, to love God with all we are is so much more than just coming to church. It's so much more than just knowing the Bible and knowing trivia and knowing facts and learning more about him. It's so much more than just doing church things. Not that those things are bad, those things just aren't enough. To actually love God means we have to pursue God. To love Jesus means we got to pursue him. Whether you are brand new to this, whether you are just checking us out for the first time and you're like, all right, it's a new year, I'm going to check out this church thing, let's see what it's all about, not really in yet, or you've been doing this for decades. You may have been coming to church and you may have been following Jesus longer than I've been sucking air in this world, and that's great. But no matter where you are on that spectrum, you still have more to know about him. So to love God doesn't mean just knowing more about him, it means actually knowing him more. Did you know that you can have a relationship with Jesus, that you can know him, personally know him, interact with him, hear from him, engage with him? Not just know about him, but actually know him. And that's what we want to do. You know, if we were to look at all the encounters that people had with Jesus that are recorded for us in the Bible, and if we were to look at all the encounters people have had with Jesus over the last 2,000 years, what we would discover from all of those encounters is that just one moment with Jesus, just one encounter with Jesus can change somebody's life. Just one moment with Jesus can change your life. So, if just one moment with Jesus can change your life, imagine what spending an entire year with him can do. If just one moment with Jesus can reshape your eternity, what might engaging with Jesus and pursuing him for an entire year do for you? What if we take an entire year, all of 2023, and we pursued Jesus with the goal of not just knowing more about him, but actually knowing him more? What if we collectively, as his people here at Okolona Christian Church, said, we want to get to know Jesus better. We're going to spend an entire year doing that. You know, each year we resolve to improve ourselves and to do better with all kinds of things, right? With all those goals that I listed earlier, we resolve to do better. And we resolve to do that, and we stay with it for about 3 weeks. It's disappointing. It's so discouraging. But there is some research that indicates that we can just immensely increase our odds at accomplishing our goals if we do 3 simple things. 3 things, 3 factors of resolution success. The first one is have a plan. So you set out your goal and you say what you want that goal to be, and then you have a plan to actually do it, and you write that plan down. You get a plan for achieving your goal. The second one is to have a partner. When we have a partner, it greatly increases our chances of actually seeing our goals to completion. When we have somebody else who's holding us accountable, somebody else who's doing the same thing, who's engaged in the same goal as we are. It's like going to the gym. If you're just gonna show up by yourself, it's really easy to not show up. But if you're gonna meet somebody there and you bail on them, let's say you've got an early morning workout plan and you bail on your partner, you know you're going to hear about it. So the odds of you sticking with it skyrocket because you don't want to get the shame of being the one who didn't show up. So having a partner greatly increases your chances of success. And then the third one is having a pick-me-up. Having a pick-me-up. Now here's what that means. It means most of us will stumble with our goals. At some point we're gonna trip up, we're gonna fail, we're gonna be like, oh. And the way to reach success is to have a plan to get back on the plan. Have a pick-me-up. Your partner encourages you, all right, let's jump back into it. You miss a week of workouts. All right, well, let's jump back into it. We just start back where we left off. You fail in your diet because Super Bowl Sunday isn't that far away. And you're like, oh man, there went my diet. And they're like, all right, I'm back on it. So you gotta have a plan, you gotta have a partner, and you gotta have a pick-me-up.